So just a quick client testimonial. Josh has been one of my clients for about since around November, and he's stuck it out with me just about last month. I can say it's both. What's the word for it? I'm both simultaneously glad and sad to see him go. Um, he's definitely a character. Most people probably wouldn't be able to stick through with what Josh has been through in terms of mold. He's just a testament to himself, and that's why I wanted to do a testimonial as well too, especially even to see other people or to show other people what you're capable of when you just keep sticking to a plan. And Josh is a picture perfect client. You couldn't really ask much more of him. And that's why I just wanted to ask him to come on today and just share some of his story as well too.
Those kind words, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, so I guess as Aaron's touched on there, I had quite a lot of mold in in my body and mycotoxins, and I had some old testing done with previous functional health practitioners and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I'd spent a lot of money on a lot of different tests, on a lot of different advice, and was still in a position where I was searching for somebody to help me with my problems, which on the outside didn't really manifest, but when you started to look a little bit more at my blood work and just how we were feeling on a day-to-day basis, then it was quite clear that what presents on the outside doesn't always, it's not always evident, from the inside. So yeah, I was tired all the time. My libido was next to nothing. It was rock bottom. My lipids weren't in a good spot. My liver health wasn't in a good spot. And I was just feeling as you would if you probably had mold in your body for all of 30 years of your life, which looking back on where I grew up and the situation was, we kind of think that that's where it stemmed from, right early doors in my life. I had a basement which unfortunately at the time got wet, it had mold in, and it were also the place in the house where I spent most of my time playing. So yeah, long story short, got in touch with Biohacker or Oren, and the rest is history, so to speak. But yeah, been with Oren for coming up to not far off a year, to be fair, not far off a year, and yeah, the protocols that he's put in place has really helped me start to thrive again. I messaged Oren a few times over the course of a lot of times over the course of our journey, but just explaining how I feel like almost like my body's catching up to the hard work that I do on a day-to-day basis. Because as I already touched on it, I never miss a gym session. I don't, I'm not a party boy or anything like that. I don't drink a load of alcohol. I don't drink alcohol at all. I don't smoke or anything. And I was really frustrated about the amount of work that I was putting in and getting zero to no results out, whereas everything's been cleaned up. The latest bloods that we've had done were all perfect. And, I finally feel like the hard work that I'm putting in is getting the results out now.
Aye, definitely. Like, if you were looking at a standpoint, it's like Josh should have been way ahead of everybody else, but it had this mold has sort of been keeping him back to being in the place where he wanted to be. And I'm glad I could even just play a small part. Like, even with the protocols, it's like I'm only doing one half. Josh has done the rest himself. I'm only here to play a small part, really. Josh has done most of the hard work and the hard pulling. So it was just really setting him up a protocol in a way that he could just, as you said, like, thrive. And that's what I mean, is what I've done is only 10% of what you were already capable of. It's like, I think the job of a coach is basically just unlocking someone's potential, as you're just like the key, opening that door essentially. So I'm definitely glad.
I guess just to touch on those protocols, Oren, to be fair, I think people won't know that I don't spend any time in a fixed location. So a lot of the time when we've been working together, I've been Cape Town or Brazil or
Bali.
places like that. And it can be almost impossible to get some of the I'm going to say medication, but supplements or what have you to actually help. So Oren's been so flexible with doing his due diligence on finding out different products, different research, and even searching in the country's websites and things himself to then send me a link to be like, oh, you can get that in Cape Town. I'm like, oh, right, great. So I've been with people before where everything's been very strict, very, this, you need to get this, and you're spending thousands of pounds on these supplements. And don't get me wrong, protocols that we had in place, it's not been loose change, but I think the flexibility that you've provided, mate, to be able to allow me to stick to a protocol that hasn't felt too much as well. I've joked before about almost like rattling when I'm walking, just due to all the supplements that you've got in your belly, in your stomach. You know what I mean? And it's not felt like that. And because when we've done the periodic blood testing as well, things have been improving, and I'm feeling better. You don't mind spending the money on them.
No,
you know what I mean? I think it's that, and I'm a coach myself as well, right? So I totally understand the standpoint that if you see coaching itself can be a cost, right? And then you're getting supplements on top and stuff. But I always say, if you're seeing progress and you're feeling better, there's no money better spent in the world.
No, definitely not.
Than
Like I
on
say
your
that all
own
the time.
health and improving your health. And maybe we're biased, mate, saying that, but I've spent a lot of money improving my health, and the time that we spent working together has actually been a drop in the ocean in comparison to what I've spent prior on, tons of different tests and people and things that hasn't worked. So, I guess I can go on a tangent on these things. So reel me in, mate, if needs be. But my message would be to people that if you've tried things in the past with different people and spent a lot of money and it hasn't quite worked, and you can keep deep down say to yourself that you have stuck to the protocol, you've done everything that person has asked, then don't lose hope that there isn't somebody out there for you.
I always say
Because
that
you
too.
will find a person who is fantastic for you and will do a great job. And it might be Oren, and it very well could be, because his due diligence, his commitment, time, energy. I'd send him all these past tests that were all just in these folders of I'd not separated them out apart from into years. And, he's scrolling through these blood tests and stuff. And, we'd jump on a call and be like, oh, back in February, blah, 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 your blood test said this. And like, I didn't even know that, So you can really tell that when you've got someone like Oren on board, that he's dotting the I's and crossing the T's and really looking at things in depth, you feel like you've found that person, So yeah, if you almost feel like you've been in a position similar to myself where you've tried a lot, and almost you've wasted a lot of time, don't give up hope, and reach out to Warren, because I'm sure he would give you the time of day to have a chat with you, let you know what he's about, and the rest could be history. I know I'm sitting here now, not even a year later, feeling absolutely incredible, the best that I've felt in my adult life. And I didn't think I'd probably be at this stage. If you've been where I was for so long of your life, to turn it around in a relatively short space of time in the grand scheme of my life, I'm 33-year-old now. I can't thank Oren enough for the time and the effort and everything that you've done. So thank you very much, mate. I do appreciate it.
And of course, even like I just seen like a massive change in you recently too, and I just noticed that, and I said to family members and stuff, and I just says, right, like when you can help somebody, like it's all worth it at the very end when you put the effort on and you see that come to fruition. it's just like watering plants essentially, and you keep watering them every day, and you keep doing the same thing over and over again. And if someone does put enough energy and time in, you can definitely see the results. I don't think I have much. I think you've covered everything that I wanted to say and more. If you, same way coaching, if you ever want to go to anybody, like you should see Josh's results, like they're outstanding. And from where he's come, and even more so now, he's done a challenge there recently as well too, and the results he got there was outstanding. Like, and he's going again. He didn't get the result he wanted, but he's going again, and it just shows you it's a true testament to his character as well too. So thank you, Josh, for your kind words. I don't think there's any much I could else say about you as well too. Thank you.
No problem, mate. Not at all. And I wouldn't have the confidence or strength or speed or stamina or everything what the challenge required prior to this. So no, I that everything that I'm doing now with regards to my physique, my business, my mindset, it's all down to the great work that we've done. So yeah, thanks again, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Lovely stuff.